There's a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, and that's what's happening to our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. Let's get into it. Recently on X, I saw a viral clip from Bill Maher. I would characterize him as being kind of part of the new atheist movement that's been going on for the last 20, 25 years or so. But I will say to Bill Maher's credit that sometimes he says some things about Christians that I actually agree with. And here's one of them.
Nigeria, the fact that this issue has not gotten on people's radar.
Right, no one's talking about it.
It's pretty amazing. If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are the Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Where are the kids protesting this?
It's here. Today, so no one will talk about it, so thank you.
Now, again, this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for some months, but the news cycle has just been a little crazy. And I have even been remiss in not bringing this up sooner. But I want to get it on your radar because I think Bill Maher makes a really important point here, and that is about our news sources. If your news sources have not been talking about what's happening to Christians in Nigeria, you need to think about getting some other news sources in the rotation, because there have been a number of attacks over the last several years to our brothers and sisters in Nigeria from Muslims. And I want to recommend to you a resource that can be of some help. Here's the website of opendoors.org. And Open Doors is a ministry devoted to keeping track of Christian persecution in particular all over the world. And every year they offer a global report based on countries as to which countries have the most persecution of Christians. Well, they have an entry page here on Nigeria, and this can be a great resource for your family. You can go on here and see a little map of where is Nigeria located, what persecution looks like. And here we see that Christians are targeted by Islamic militants. And this includes Boko Haram, which has attacked and burned down many Christian churches, killed Christians inside their churches. It's really a rough situation over there. But also rough is the government's failure to protect Christians or punish the perpetrators. And this is a biblical form of justice. Monique and I are always talking about biblical standards of justice. And one of the most basic standards of justice, according to Romans 13, is that God gives the sword to the government to protect the innocent and punish the guilty. And in this case, our brothers and sisters in Christ are really suffering as a result of the corruption in the Nigerian government. They are failing to protect the Christians, protect the innocent, and punish the guilty. So when you go to the Open Doors page, you can get more resources. They have prayer prompts. You can find out background information about all the countries. And so I want to commend that to you as a resource for you and your family, something to bring up regularly in your discipleship with your kids of what is happening across the world with our brothers and sisters in the Lord. I'm also struck in the news this week about the example of our Nigerian brothers and sisters, particularly in the Anglican Church in Nigeria, as in Great Britain, they are appointing a female archbishop for the first time in Canterbury, which is kind of the historical epicenter of Anglicanism, but that has waned in recent years as the Church of England has become radically progressive. I don't think that's an overstatement. But the Nigerian Anglicans and the Rwandan Anglicans are speaking out. Here's a headline from The Guardian, which is a British newspaper. Nigerian Anglicans reject pro-gay female archbishop and split from the Church of England. As much as Anglicans appreciate unity and communion across the globe. For the Nigerians, this is just a bridge too far. And I appreciate their stand. I appreciate their strong stand to preserve the historic Christian faith. Here, just reading the opening paragraph of the article, the Church of Nigeria from the Anglican Communion has formally rejected the authority of the Church of England following the appointment of Bishop Sarah Mullally as Archbishop of Canterbury, citing concerns over her support for same-sex marriage and her position as the first woman to hold the office. Now, I know other Anglicans see the denouncement by Nigerian Christians against the Archbishop of Canterbury as being insensitive and kind of politically incorrect. It's not inclusive, but I appreciate the fact that even under such great persecution, Nigerian Christians are showing us a strong example of how to persevere in the faith once for all delivered to the saints. If you want more information about the leadership of the African church, particularly in the Anglican tradition, I did a whole podcast about that a couple of years ago on my Theology Mom podcast. So if you want to check out that long form conversation, I'm going to put a link in the description below to that. And also I'm going to put a link to a conversation that Monique and I had some time ago with our friend Abuna Anthony, who is from the Coptic tradition. The Coptic are Egyptian Christians, and the persecution that Egyptian Christians have faced for 1,500 years at the hands of Muslims. I know you're going to enjoy both of these discussions in getting a more global perspective about our faith. If you enjoyed this conversation, please share it with a friend, someone else you think will appreciate it. And I want to thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Hey, if you enjoyed this content, come check out the Center for Biblical Unity. Download our free ebook, Is Christianity a White Man's Religion? Click on the link in the description below.